In this video, I'm going to show you how to install a washing machine outlet box, and I'll be going over the drain line connection and water line connections, so let's get started. I'm here in the laundry room, and this washing machine outlet box is going to be installed in this stud space where the washing machine is going to set. And I'd like to take time to say thanks to SharkBite for sponsoring this video. If you've been following my channel for a while, you'll know that I use SharkBite products very often, and I've been using them way before they sponsored my channel in the past. So if you need a good washing machine outlet box, I highly recommend that you check these out. And let me show you some details that SharkBite offers with these washing machine outlet boxes. Here is the washing machine outlet box I will be installing. These are push to connect fittings made by SharkBite, and these are the SharkBite Max fittings. So our pipes are going to go in here securely once we push them into the proper depth. And it depends on what type of water lines are in your house as to what you want to get. So let's say you have PEX A in your house. You could simply buy the push to connect version of this like we have here, and it's going to adapt to PEX A, PEX B, CPVC, copper, no problem. And also some locations, the code requires what's called a hammer arrestor at the top of these valves, and SharkBite sells the boxes that have those as well. So definitely check out these washing machine outlet boxes made by SharkBite. Now this one, you can see we have our quarter turn valves here, and these can be relocated into the top of this box as well. So you can knock this out, then relocate them there. And we have a center drain option here to where this side, we have the two drains on each side. So we're going to pick one or the other for our drain. So we're going to install it in this orientation, and this box can be installed in this orientation as well to where the drain is below, but the shutoff valves are at the top. So you got several options when it comes to installing this, and this kit comes with the straps that's going to secure this into the stud space, and also a plug for if we accidentally knock out a location and then we have to plug it, we can just plug it here from below. Very straightforward. Or you can also just glue this into the opposing side that the drain's not in, so in case it gets knocked out later, it'll tell you on the inside that to knock out the other side. I'm going to remove the trim piece from the outside of the box. We're now ready to begin our installation. A washing machine outlet box is going to require a trap below it in order to trap the sewer gases from coming up into the house. So because of that, once we exit with our 2-inch pipe, we need to come down into a trap, and then we're going to go down to the floor in order for the drain to continue. And we're also going to go up with our pipe in order to vent the washing machine outlet box. And we're going to use a Sani-T here, and here is our 2-inch trap that we're going to use for this installation. Because the center of the drain for the washing machine outlet box is going to be 1.25 inches to the center, as you can see here, because of that, we're going to have to measure off the back of the plate, then mark that onto the plate in order to drill it out. And we're going to come right between these two studs, so I'm going to get the center and mark it, about 3 inches. I'm going to drill this out with a 2.5-inch hole saw for our 2-inch pipe. When drilling this out with the hole saw, be sure to hold the drill with 2 hands. I'd like to be clear here. The only reason why I held this to the edge is just to be more square with the washing machine outlet box. But realistically, because our trap, it can pivot left or right when we install it. So we could come right through the center of the stud and then go center down through this plate. So you do not have to drill it out this close to the edge to line up with the washing machine outlet box, but I'd like to point out that option. Now that I'm through the floor, I'm going to repeat that above for our vent pipe. To drill through the top and cap plate, I'm going to transfer the mark above so that way I can drill down because it's much easier than trying to drill up. When drilling from below, it takes more effort and you have sawdust falling onto you, so it's much easier to transfer the marks and drill straight down. We are now drilled through the plates. To drill out the stud for the trap, this trap is going to be 12 inches from the subfloor up to the center where it goes through the stud. So I'm going to mark the stud in order to drill it out now. We are now through the stud. It's now time to install the drain lines to this outlet box. I'm going to be using purple primer to prime the pipes. I'm then going to use PVC cement to make the glue connections and give it a quarter turn and place it into the fittings all the way. And when it comes to the trap location, you'll notice that if we're tight against this stud, if this box is tight against the stud, it just barely works there as far as lining up from the area where it exits the box to the trap. So because of that, you want to bring the trap out in about this location because this has plenty of flexibility to move around due to the straps made by SharkBite that's on the outlet box. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this together and then show you how to install this onto the drain lines. An easy method to cut the PVC pipe is to use a circular saw or miter saw and even a reciprocating saw, and then after you make the cut, be sure to deburr the pipe on the inside and outside of the opening. When doing your own plumbing work, be sure to check your local building codes and see what is required in your area. What I'm showing you here is what we do in our area, so it may be different in yours. Just double check and apply for the proper permits, but what I'm showing here is a very common example of what would need to be done. So again, just double check because you just never know from location to location what might be different. Something really important here is we need to make sure we have a 1/4 inch per foot slope on our drain line. And we can do that using a torpedo level to make sure that it does have a slope. So that is something you need to keep in mind whenever you place your drain, very important. So now that we have our trap installed, we need to extend our pipe up, but before we do that, we must temporarily set our outlet box so we can get the length for our pipe. In order to temporarily set this box, we must first install our straps to the box to anchor it. To install these, very straightforward, they just push right into these slots on the sides. Now we're ready to temporarily place it on the wall. When it comes to the height of the outlet box, I like to place mine 43 inches to the top of it. Now you don't want to place it too low because the drain from the washing machine is not going to function properly if it's really low. So anywhere above 36 inches is what I'd recommend, up to 48 even. So anywhere in that range should be fine. So I'm going to mark 43 inches here on the studs in order to mark our height. In order to temporarily secure this, I'm going to place a screw in the one side and then set it level with our torpedo level, then secure the other side and get our measurement for our pipe. As you can see, we're setting perfectly level. Our top is in line with our height measurement. We can now get the measurement for our drain pipe. I like to measure into how far it's going to go in the fitting. This side is going to go in 3/4, and this side it's going to go up 3/4. So we'd add 1.5 inches to the measurement in between this area to the top of the trap. So the measurement we have here, about 24.25 inches. Add 1.5 inches, that gives us 25.75. So I need to cut the pipe 25.75 inch in order to get the correct length. And again, there is some play here, so it doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm trying to get mine to where I like it. Before gluing the pipe into the trap, I'm going to remove the screws and take the outlet box off the wall. Instead of temporarily anchoring this box to get the measurement, you could simply hold it up into place, then get the measurement that way. You could also remove the outlet box from the straps instead of taking the screws out, but I think it'd be a little easier just to take the screws out. Here at the bottom, we're going to remove the tape off the area in which we got to install the pipe. I'm going to dry fit the box onto the pipe. And I want to make sure that we are sitting square with the wall. We don't want it tilted like this when we install it or like this. We want to make sure we are from stud to stud nice and flat. And what we can do here to double check this is just use a framing square, lay it up against the studs. And then up here you can see we are setting flat from stud to stud on the same plane. That's good. We're going to just put marks here to line up with. So now when we glue it and give it our 1/4 turn, we're going to go to those alignment points just to make sure that we are square with the wall. And again, we're going to give it a good 1/4 turn here. And at the same time, just make sure your straps are flush against the studs and line up the alignment points, and we should be good to go. Using the torpedo level, we're going to place it on top of it, and you will have to adjust this to make sure we're setting level. Right there looks good, and I'm just going to place a marker mark right into the screw hole We're going to shoot for that whenever we place our screw in. All right, we are now secured and the box is set. I'm now going to drill the holes for the water lines, and this house has PEX A installed throughout it, so we're going to continue that. And the great thing about these push-to-connect fittings is that they'll accept PEX Type B, PEX Type A, CPVC, and copper with no problem. So they're very universal, so it's an excellent DIY option if you're going to be installing your own outlet box. And because this is 1/2-inch water line, I'm going to be drilling the holes using a 5/8" drill bit because we want to make sure it's snug around the pipe, and you don't want any gaps around the pipes if you can avoid it. If not, you just got to make sure that you use fire-rated sealant around it in order to pass fire code in my area. So I'm going to drill out back in here to where the shower stall is. That way we don't have to place nail stoppers if we drill through the plates here. And it's something I like to mention, oftentimes you're going to be drilling through these plates, so it may be easier to drill those out before you install your drain lines, but we're going to go ahead and drill out the holes now. Before drilling the holes, I'm going to measure off this stud, and we got 5 3/4 for the first water line, which is the hot. Then we got 8 1/4 for the cold water line that we're going to come off this stud to drill out below. And like always, our red water line is going to be for the hot, and that's going to be on the left. And then the blue is going to be for the cold, that's on the right. We're now going to stub the pipes up through those holes. I am here in the basement, and you can see we have SharkBite PEX A tubing ran for our water lines. I'm going to be using the SharkBite PEX tubing cutter, and it cuts right through the PEX A with no problem. And I'm now going to use the leftover amount that's on the roll and place it right up through the floor, and then we'll cut it to length after we make our connections to connect to the main water supply line. So you definitely want to stay tuned for the next video because I'll be going over the details connecting the water lines and the drain lines together for the final connections to complete the rough end. Simply pull the water line straight up towards the outlet box. We're now going to make our connections. To prep the pipe in order to install it into the SharkBite Max fitting, I'm going to use the SharkBite deburring tool, and each one of these pipe sizes, we got the 1/2 3/4 and the 1". They have a deburring blade inside, so all I have to do is place it on the pipe and then twist it, and that's going to deburr our pipe. Now that the pipe's deburred, we're going to mark the bottom of the deburring tool because that's actually a depth gauge, so we're going to know we're pushed on all the way once we're up to this mark. Here's where the SharkBite Max fitting shines. We're simply just going to push this up into the fitting, and that's going to seal around the pipe and create our connection. You see the mark we made on the pipe is right up to the SharkBite Max fitting. That means we are inserted all the way, and we now have a permanent connection to our water line. I'm now going to do the same to the cold side. You may be wondering what's the difference between the SharkBite Max fittings and the first generation SharkBite. Ultimately, the SharkBite Max offers a smoother, stronger connection handling twice the pressure at 400 psi and also requires less effort to make your connection, so it pushes on easier. We are now connected to the cold side. Whenever there is a pipe within 1.5 inches from the edge of a stud or plate, we must install what are called nail stoppers. These go right here over the area in which you risk placing a screw through the stud and damaging the pipe. So here at this drain pipe right here, we need one down here, and for the water lines, they're tucked back in here where there is no drywall and it's just a cavity, so we do not need any. But if our water line was coming up, let's say right here, we'd have to place one here as well. So we're just going to nail these on right into place. We are now safe within the cavity of the wall. Now that our connections are made, because this is a new construction house, we will be pressure testing the water lines, so we want to make sure our valves are shut off for that. And as far as the drain lines, we will be hydrostatic testing them. So we're going to leave the test cap on top of the drain line. Now once the testing is over, we will take a screwdriver and a hammer and knock off this cap, and that's how we're going to access the drain. And for the water lines, obviously after the pressure testing is done and when we hook up our washing machine, this is where we thread our connections onto. Then we'll turn the quarter turn shutoff valve on, and that's going to feed our washing machine. So that's the overview on the testing for the outlet box. Something you're going to find interesting, I installed this washing machine outlet box about 5 years ago when I was building my house, and here it is now. It's held up well and it's working great, and this was actually for PEX B where it required the crimp connections. And of course, when I was installing it, I made a how-to video about it. If you'd like to check out that video, I'll put a link to it in the description below. Once the drywall is installed in this area, we're going to install the trim piece, and that's going to give us a nice finished look around the box. This is simply going to snap on like so. And if you would like to see the video where we connect the drain line to the main drain and the vent pipe up to the main stack, check out this video. It'll help you out.